Hi everyone, welcome back to another video review. My name's Darren. Today we're looking at two, let's just call them old brothers. They are no longer in production models, but they were and still are really great multimeters. The one on the left is the older Wavetek 16xl, and his big brother on the right is the successor, the 35XP Meterman. Now, electronics, like any thing, has a, let's just put it, political angle to it, and the electronics business is no different than any other business per se. There's always politics involved, and in this case, the Wavetek was bought out by Meterman, and eventually Meterman was bought out by Amprobe, and eventually I believe Fluke bought out Amprobe, and I'm not sure if I'm missing a step somewhere in between. But the names change, the parts, PCB pretty well stays the same. If you're familiar with the Agilent Keysight series, you'll find still, even today in 2017, you can find the Agilent logo on the PCB, sometimes in the manuals with new meters, even though Keysight was formally changed to the new name a couple of years ago now. But politics aside, they are great multimeters. They both have their strengths. The Wavetek on the left is quite old. It's probably pushing 18, 20 years old. In this case, it's brand new. It was gifted to me by my father, and I use it every now and then. It's a great little meter. It's got a lot of heft to it, and as you can see, he took amazing care of it. The one on the right was purchased not too long ago off of eBay, and during its heyday it sold for approximately $80 US, so it wasn't super cheap. The biggest difference between both of them is the Wavetek 16xl on the left is non-auto-ranging, so all of the feature functionality you have to do with the selector switch. The Meterman on the right is fully auto-ranging multimeter, and it has a few more bells and whistles. I was able to find a, put it up here, this is a small, let's call it a intro for sellers. Kind of gives them at the time a little lowdown on the 35XP. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but right there it says, positioning to convert existing 16xl and 35xl customers. So the 35XP, when it came out, was designed to replace the 16xl. The 35XP was the so-called, let's call it the top of the line at the time. There was 5XP and a 15XP as well, but the 35XP was the big daddy. Spec-wise, it was 4,000 count auto-ranging, 0.5% basic accuracy, 750 volt AC and DC. Had 2 amp testing on the current level. Does do diode and continuity. Measures frequency up to 40 megahertz. It has what they call the extra tough magnet grip holster with a hanging strap. It has a temperature function, capacitance, and auto power off. So that's the specs for the Meterman 35XP. For the Wavetek, maybe not quite as fancy. It does voltage up to 600 volts, AC, DC. For current, it does up to 10 amps. For capacitance, this is where it's let's just say kind of lacking. It goes up to a whopping 20 microfarad, which really is not much in this day and age. It does diode, has a logic test, and also a transistor tester. And we'll talk a bit about those functions a little more in detail later. As you can see, it also has the capacitance slot, so rather than using your probes to measure your capacitance, you could just stick them into these slots. And I'll tell you, these are really well made. It's a fantastic way they've conceptualized the meter. It's very well done. Once again, the 35XP, everything is auto-ranging, no transistor checker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the 2 meters. We'll test them side by side. I was originally going to do a solo review for each one, but I thought it's a little more interesting because this is the successor to the 16xl. I thought it'd be better just to do them both at the same time. And that way it gives you sort of a good overall indicator of how they were. In terms of today's specs, they're not too bad. The 35XP Cat 3 rating. Now it's only 300 volts, but certainly a very realistic Cat rating in this regards. The 16xl also has a Cat 3 rating, and surprisingly it's 600 volts. Both well made, well constructed, and we will look at them both from the inside as well. I will compare them. And let's get started. So I'm going to hook up the probes. Oh, and speaking of probes, I don't have the original Wavetek 16xl probes, unfortunately, but I do have the Meterman probes. And I got to tell you, these are surprisingly really nice. They have a super sharp tip. If we had a little pain meter here, this would be on about a 9.5 out of 10 right now. It's really sharp. So if you're doing any sort of low-level circuit testing, you want to get your probes into a tight spot, these would be great. I really like the quality of them. The leads themselves have a really nice feel, and yeah, surprisingly, I'm happy with the leads for the Meterman 35XP. Once again, I do not have the leads for the 16xl, but that's okay. In this case, I will be using standard clip, or perhaps a sandwall lead rather, to continue the tests. So what we'll do is we'll start out with some basic voltage tests. We'll compare them side by side. I'll hook up the leads and we'll come right back. And I just thought I would show you this as well. A little blurb here at the top. The new XP series of compact multimeters will replace the current XL series. As a result, the XP introduction, the XL meters are being obsoleted in early 2004. So that gives you an idea of just how old this 16xl is. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to bring Mr. Fluke 87 into the mix. So as you can see, we now have our 87V alongside the Wavetek and the Meterman. One thing I neglected to mention is neither the Wavetek nor the Meterman have a backlight, unfortunately. So if you're trying to use these in the dark, you are out of luck. Okay, so right now we're on the 10.000 range with our 8584 voltage reference, and they're all pretty close. Let's not forget that this guy is almost 20 years old. He's showing 9.97, 9.98 for the Meterman, and well, look at that, spot on for the Fluke. Okay, now we are at 2.500. And it looks like we've got 2.49 right across the board. 2.499, 2.496, and the lower resolution Wavetek, 2.49. So all really close. Let's try the 5.00 setting. And of course, Mr. Fluke, spot on. The Wavetek, 4.98, and the Meterman, 35XP, 4.99. Finally, 7.50 volts. And we've got 7.498 for the Fluke, 7.48 for the Meterman, and last but not least, 7.47 for old brother Wavetek. fantastic. So as you can see, not bad at all. This is a brand new Fluke. These two, well, obviously, as I mentioned before, almost 20 years old, and this guy's probably at least 10 to 12 years old. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Excellent. So now we're going to do a resistor test. Okay, so we're now in resistance mode, and starting off with age before beauty, and we're showing a 100K resistor. And the Wavetek is 98.0. Now once again, this is a non-auto-ranging multimeter, so I've got it set to the 200K on the ohms dial. Alrighty, so I'm just going to hit hold, and then I'm going to test the Meterman 35XP. And that helps if you switch to the ohms. Now, did you hear that? Yes. Yeah, the first time I heard that, it was absolutely horrible. I wasn't sure what that was. I thought maybe I stepped on some poor bird, but no, it's the meter, and there's no way to disable that annoying shrieking sound. So I don't know what Meterman was thinking, but I don't think they were. Anyway, measure the resistance. Once again, 100K resistor on the Meterman, and we have 98.654. Okay, so I put that one on hold as well, and just for the fun of it, let's try Mr. Fluke. Put him on me. Okay, once again for 100K, and we've got 98.4. Now I'll do the auto hold, which is a really nice feature with the Fluke. And boom, it automatically holds the reading without any silly pressing of the button. So as you can see, all really close spec-wise to that 100K resistor. Okay, so we're going to try a, well, no. This is a 10 meg ohm resistor, and I'm just checking out the, well, theoretically it should work. So let's try 10 MegaOhm. All right, we'll take it up a notch here, and let's see what we've got. Alrighty, so here we go for the Wavetek. Oh, and because it's non-auto-ranging, I will put it to the 20 MegaOhm setting, and let's see. And there it is. Still deciding. Pretty close, 10.12. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit of flutter, but basically there you go. So that's pretty well spot on. Not bad for the old guy. Now we're going to try the Meterman. And we're in the ohms range, and let's see what we have. Wow, that was pretty fast. Spot on. Okay. And one more time, let's try the Fluke, see what we have. Boom. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, 10.1. So basically the Meterman and the Fluke are neck and neck, and the Wavetek is not far behind. So yeah, for resistance, no problema. Okay. So now, just for the fun of it, let us go to the capacitance mode. Okay, so currently we are now in the capacitance range. One unusual thing with the Wavetek 16xl is that to test capacitance, Not only do you have to be in the capacitance range, but you also have to use the built-in capacitance module. You cannot use the leads. The leads are strictly for voltage or resistance or current. But yeah, so that's interesting. So we currently have a 10 microfarad capacitor hooked up, and it's wallowing back and forth. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's around 9, 9.2, 9.3. Once again, the Wavetek is only capable of doing a maximum of 20 microfarad. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to try. This is a 33 microfarad capacitor. Let's see if it can read that. Nope, we're getting an over limit. So yeah, it's do a lot of capacitance testing. This definitely would not have been the meter for you. Okay, so that was the Wavetek. Now let's move along to the Meterman, and we've already got him on capacitance mode. Okay, put our probes here, and we'll test this. Oh, I might have been on hold here. No, let's try this again. Ah, okay, so one of these annoying things, as you can see here, is we have to switch the probe, and we'll try that again. Now, once again, this is only a 10 microfarad capacitor, so really should be no problem. If I can ever get my lead on here. Let's just try that again. Alrighty, so 10 microfarad. It's a little slow to auto range, but there we are, 9.94. Let's take it up a notch. I've got a 1000 microfarad capacitor right here, so let's try one of these. Okay. Thousand microfarad, and it's thinking. There we go. 1 megafarad. Okay, so just for the fun of it, let's try a 2200 microfarad capacitor. The Janicon. Auto-ranging goodness, and there we go, 2 megafarad, so right on. So the Meterman has no problems with the higher ranges. Unfortunately, I don't have anything larger close at hand. I would be curious to see just how high he can go. But let's see how low they can go. Here's a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. Right on, 107 nanofarad. So great. So the little Meterman, quite capable in terms of capacitance. Well, is there any sense in really testing the fluke? Okay, let's just try it for the fun of it. We all know that fluke's not going to have any problem with the capacitance range, but we'll try the 2200 and boom, 2050. Great. Okay. So next we're going to try the diode tests. By the way, just an FYI, I was looking at the spec from Meterman for the 35XP, and as you can see in the capacitance range, it just simply says capacitance. There's no spec. So I will try and find out exactly what it's capable of. Okay, so we're now in diode mode, and the Wavetek 16xl is measuring 0.5 volt forward voltage drop. All right, now let's just compare that to his big brother, Mr. Meterman. Oh, I'm still in capacitance mode. Wow. Oh, so that's the alarm I failed to mention. Because we are switching the selector switch, you do have this Audible Alarm, which is kind of a neat feature. But God, that's loud. Okay. So I will switch to diode mode. Now it's happy. And I'm partially deaf. And here we go. Got my Meterman probes. There we are. Here we are. Let's see what we've got. So I'm just trying to see if I can tag this. So 0.54, so pretty close in terms of the forward voltage drop on the Meterman. And yes, we will try it with the Fluke. Okay. .54. So it mimics the Meterman 35XP. So they're all pretty close in terms of diode testing. For the heck of it, let's just see if, I won't bother with the Fluke, but let's see if the Wavetek can actually light up a red LED. Okay, so no problem here. We have the red LED nicely lit by the Wavetek. And since we're going to try and light LEDs, let's just try a white one. See if we'll have any success. Nothing that way. I'll just try reversing. And no can do. Okay, so let's try with the Meterman. Start first with the red. And no problem. Hope you can see that. .71 is the forward voltage drop, and we'll try the white. Nothing. Let's just reverse the polarity here. And nothing. So neither the Wavetek nor the Meterman can light up a white LED. Okay, moving right along. We will try next something else I wanted to touch on as well is the actual selector knob, or selector switch, however you like to call it. The Wavetek 16xl. This thing is amazing. I mean, this thing just reeks of quality in terms of the selector switch. Like, wow. This is primo, amazing. One of the best selector switches I've actually ever had the happiness to turn. As you can see, I still have the plastic on here. It's been on here for almost 20 years, and I've decided to leave it on. So I hope it doesn't bother you. But yeah, that's a great selector knob. And you know, a nice touch that you don't see in a lot of meters is the fact that on the selector switch, you actually have your illuminated pointer. So rather than just having a typical black switch, let's say, for instance, on the Victor, you've actually got that nice little dial at the tip. And, you know, believe it or not, I think that just makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, good job. I can't say enough about the selector switch. This has a nice rubber boot. The rubber boot, actually, I had purchased in the past year. It was not on the original meter. But it's great. Without the boot, there is no standing bail on this Wavetek, as you'll see shortly. But yeah, all in all, fantastic selector switch. And looking at the 35XP, not as nice. It's a little more mushy. Has that god-awful whining. I mean, that would drive me crazy. But yeah, it's not bad, you know. I can't complain. Once again, at least they did highlight the tip of the dial, so that looks good. But just doesn't feel as good as its younger brother. So we're going to close this video with one last test, and that will be one of my favorites, continuity testing. Okay, so first of all, for the Wavetek, you have a separate setting called logic, and in this case it's also continuity. And here we go. So that's really nice. Once again, these are the Meterman probes. No fancy Sanwa, Fluke, or Probe Masters. And I'm putting next to no pressure and solid latched, nice loud sound. And you can see there's also a very tiny visual indicator on the display as well. So yeah, good job Wavetek. Continuity mode is perfect. Now we'll try the same thing with the Meterman. Here goes. So yeah, kind of a fail, Meterman. Slow, annoyingly loud, whiny kind of a sound. You do get some sort of a, I don't know, range indicator if you want to call it on the display, but I wouldn't be using this to probe circuits. No, it's just horrible. Exact same leads. So kudos Wavetek, you win in this department, and it's a fail for the Meterman. Okay, great. Well, this is going to be a two-part video, and obviously this was part one. I hope you enjoyed it. Part two, I will be taking both meters apart, giving you a side-by-side comparison, checking out how safe they are, how well built they are, and if any of them have anything special up their meter sleeves. So stay tuned for part two. In the meantime, thanks for watching.